make no sense. This video is brought to you by Extreme Tees. Click on the link below. Make sure you put Kevin in the promo code and you'll get a 20% discount. Friends, it seems like big government and tech giants are trying to destroy America. Everything they touch turns into a disaster, and pretty soon the whole system will fall apart. And the first thing that will fail is the food supply chain. So do you have enough emergency food to get through a serious long crisis where you can't get food at a grocery store? Well, most people don't, and they will panic when the time comes. And that is why the smart thing to do is to get long-term stored emergency food before things go bad. I highly recommend My Patriot Supply. They've served millions of American families and have over 41,000 4-stars and 5-star reviews. Their mission is your survival. And right now you can save 25% on a 4-week kit of emergency food that will save the day and probably soon. Order a starter kit for each member of your family and they will ship everything quickly and discreetly to your door. Go to preparewithkevinscorner.com so you can claim your 4-week emergency food kit and save 25% in the process. That is preparewithkevinscorner.com. Now, let's get back to this video. Holy crap. Did I just see what I thought I saw? What's going on, America? Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And yeah, I just saw that video. Somebody sent it to me. Emailed it, because, sending sensitive information like that through other means might get it snatched down. But wow, I mean, I'm wondering what I just saw. I'm like, is that has it been altered? Has it been doctored? Because I've been hearing a lot going on around the internets, coming out of the political establishment about what took place on that particular day. And yeah, according to them, we were at the verge of our democracy being lost, and there should be some type of rewards and things like that for all of the heroes of the 6, especially according to Eric Fartwell.
I actually just was texting with Officer Fanone. He put in another scheduling request. He's put in so many requests now, and he told me he sent that again this morning, and he said it feels like Groundhog Day because he just wants to meet with Kevin McCarthy. He thinks it'd be easier to meet with Kevin McCarthy than the 21 individual meetings he'd have to take with the people who voted against giving police a gold medal. He thought McCarthy's the leader of the party. If he could convey to McCarthy what happened that day, maybe McCarthy could talk every member into supporting a gold medal to honor those officers. McCarthy, of course, has refused to do that. Look, this is not about politics. Officer Fanone and so many others put their lives in front of ours so that Kevin McCarthy could go to a secure, safe location on January 6th. We owe it to them to look them in the eye and give them our thanks.
Now, did y'all hear Eric? Eric's pushing for it, man. He wants them to receive a Purple Heart or something. I don't know. I mean, but if what I just saw was real, then I don't think they deserve anything. In fact, I think we deserve more answers because apparently President Trump has come out and he has made some statements that the liberal media is not okay with. So we're going to go over that real quick. But while we're doing that, I'm going to continue to be dropping what is, I'd have to call, subliminal messages. Okay. Unspoken words. Words or ways to communicate to y'all without really, saying certain things that could get me in trouble. So with that being said, let's find out why they're so upset, or should I say concerned about what Trump said. Trump called Ashley Babbitt an innocent, wonderful, incredible woman and suggested without evidence that a Democrat official was connected to her death. Now, just reading that, I can tell the position of whoever wrote the article that they're not favorable towards Trump or Ashley Babbitt, because I could detect a little sarcasm in this statement. So when they said Trump called Ashley Babbitt an innocent, wonderful, incredible woman and suggested without evidence. Oh, there you go. Once again, Trump's crazy. Trump's making all these claims, just like he talked about them throwing cans of soup at folks and then saying it was just soup for their family. Turned out that he was telling the truth. Just like that Trump talked about Antifa and what they do, he was telling the truth. Just like Trump mentioned the Hunter Biden laptop and all that stuff, and, you know, without evidence, he was telling the truth. All these things that they say Trump always makes these claims without evidence, I'm surprised that they never stop and just reflect on how many times he's done that, and they did exactly what they're doing now, saying without evidence, only to come to find out that Trump was telling the truth. I think he knows by now that the media loves to prove him wrong and would be sitting and lying in wait for him to make a statement or claim like this, and then they can just run with, once again, Trump's crazy. He's coming out with all kind of stuff. Well, like the time they said that Trump claimed that the Trump towers were being surveilled or wiretapped without evidence. Come to find out he was right. Like when they said Trump is out there saying that the Wuhan Chinese virus came from a lab without evidence. Come to find out, most likely he's right. So they don't like the fact that President Trump made this statement, I can tell, because they simply said without evidence. So let's continue. Let's see if we can figure out if there is a legitimate claim to this, and if it is, let's see where it's going. Subliminal. Okay, here we go. Ashley Babbitt was killed by police on January 6th while participating in the riot at the Capitol. Now, once again, notice what they, defined it as. It's a riot. But based on our subliminal message, maybe that riot had an origin that they're not telling us about, but who knows? We'll keep going. Trump praised Babbitt, calling her incredible and asking for more answers about her death. What's the problem with that? I mean, I don't see any other evidence that she wasn't an incredible person. She served her country. She was a patriot. She was up there expressing her political views. And of course, as I saw in the video, she was climbing through a window surrounded by other officers right by her, and without reason, warning, or anything, the person just decided to shoot her. Maybe she was a threat. I don't know. But from where I was standing, it didn't look like it. It looked like if they wanted to stop her, the guys right around her could have grabbed her. It looked like to me that taking a risky shot at a suspect slowly coming through a glass window without saying stop, freeze, I'll shoot, nothing of that nature. Not to mention, you run the risk of hitting all the guys right next to her, was stupid. So yes, I still don't see why she is to be viewed any differently than an incredible woman that lost her life on that date without no real explanation. Let's continue. Trump also suggested, without citing evidence, that a top Democrat was involved. Now, once again, let's just do some deductive reasoning here. Trump has made some claims before, which, him being Trump, he knows when he makes those claims, the media is sitting back licking their chops, ready to pounce on it. So you might want to pump the brakes when you hear him make these claims and say to yourself, is he setting us up? How many times has he done this? He threw something out there and we forget that he gets a lot of intel and a lot of information. So let's just go ahead and go with our first hunch to destroy Trump and paint him as crazy, a conspiracy theorist and all of that stuff. Maybe they should just wait and see what evolves. Maybe they should be asking the Democrats some questions about, yeah, who did shoot her? Why did he shoot her? Why haven't we received his name? Why aren't there a deeper investigation in this? I don't get it. Any other time when a cop shoots someone, even when we do see the video camera where somebody might have been resisting arrest, fighting back, all of these things, they always put the cop's name out. They always jump the gun and predetermine why he did it, what was his motive, without even going through the evidence of this person didn't even have a gun. It wasn't anything seen, all of this stuff. There was no reason that cop shouldn't have did that. Even in the case where the young black lady had a butcher knife about to stab another black person, they still wanted more reason why this dude decided to shoot this girl as she went and tried to stab another girl. But yet, Ashley Babbitt, case solved. It's clear and cut and dry. Obviously, this woman trying to get through that window was enough for this man to take that shot. So, yeah, let's continue. Former President Trump praised Ashley Babbitt, the Capitol rioter. Oh shit, she's a rioter now. So the Capitol rioter, but unfortunately, wait, I'm a little confused as I read this. The Capitol rioter. So then the all of those Black Lives Matter rioters that was breaking in stuff, all those Antifa rioters that were breaking into Capitol buildings, burning down places, they were just Capitol peaceful protesters. Okay, but she's definitely labeled as a Capitol rioter. Okay. So, who was killed by police on January 6th? Was it a police officer? Who was that man? We don't know. So I'm assuming then that this article, whoever wrote the article, is guessing too, because no one knows that answer except certain people. But anyway, it says January 6th, and suggested without citing evidence that a high-level Democrat may have been involved. Once again, going back to our subliminal message. And some questions that Tucker had about some FBI folks being involved, perhaps. And then, of course, one of the congressmen, Gomer, I believe, he even brought this up on the Senate or the House floor, one of the two. And we still haven't received those answers. I'm waiting for Christopher Wray to get back and tell us why that happened, who did it, what happened to the person who did it. I'm waiting to find out why did certain people in our government decided to reject the offer that was given in regards to bringing in the National Guard and making sure everything was secure. Why would you want less security in a scenario like that if you knew all these people were coming? And then we also hear that they had intel that there might be some, disruption. And when folks came and said, hey, we can help out, we can give you more security, somebody simply said, no, thank you. We don't need it. I wonder who that person could have been. But let's continue. Speaking by phone Sunday on Fox News, Trump was asked by host Maria Bartiromo about the Capitol attack when a pro-Trump mob breached the building and forced lawmakers to evacuate. Babbitt was amongst the group that illegally entered the building. Who shot Ashley Babbitt? Question mark. Why are they keeping that a secret? Trump asked. Who was the person that shot an innocent, wonderful, incredible woman, a military woman? Now, my question is this: was her background bad as what? George Floyd's? He's a hero. I mean, this dude was a object of change. This dude sparked a positive revolution based on him simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time and dying at the hands of a white police officer, but he's a hero. So now my question is, Ashley Babbitt, is she now what, an evil person? She's just known as a rioter. That's what she is now. All those other things that was attached to her resume doesn't count. But let's continue. Babbitt was with a group of rioters trying to break down the barricaded door to the speaker's lobby, which would have given them access to the House chamber and put them within yards of lawmakers who were trying to evacuate. There you have it. Y'all hear that? So, those lawmakers that were trying to escape and evacuate, and those cops that were adamantly trying to stop all of those very gentle people from getting into the chamber as they took selfies with them and took pictures and throw their arms around them and sat there while folks were saying, please do something. And all those people outside was yelling, that's Antifa, stop Antifa, all of that. The one who was, signaling at third base to go ahead to home. The one who that was, stopping those people from coming in, very gently. Hey, wait, give me a second. I'm not ready. That guy, all of those guys, was trying to stop these people from breaking through that barricade and going after all of those Congress people. Yeah, that one woman, because I didn't see anybody else pushing through there. I saw the cops calmly talking to the people around them as they act like they didn't even see Ashley Babbitt right next to them trying to get through the window. And so a mysterious gunman came out and just, shot her. So let's continue though. She was shot by a Capitol police officer as she tried to climb through a broken window into the lobby. The incident was captured on video. So yes, I think we have a legitimate reason to ask who shot her and why, considering what was she going to do when she got through there? That one person would have got through there and made that much of a difference. Now, she had no weapon on her. There was no one else found to have a weapon. So what was the immediate threat and danger that would cause that officer to just take that shot? But let's continue. The Justice Department cleared the officer of wrongdoing, concluding he had acted in defense of other officers and members of Congress. The investigation was closed without charging or identifying the officer publicly. That's not suspicious to you? This person was supposed to be stopping this based on the other officers being in danger. You mean to tell me those officers standing right around her, they acting like they didn't even know she was there? They weren't even paying attention. Now, I'm not sure, but maybe it's just me thinking out loud. If my life is in immediate danger, I'm probably focused on the immediate threat or danger. I'm probably not casually talking to all the folks around me as my life is being threatened by this woman who seems to be trying to get through a window. Secondly, if I'm the guy that has that gun pointed at her, I probably would be saying, hey guys, you're standing right next to her. How about you grab her and pull her down? I probably would be saying, hey guys, move out the way. I need to take a shot because I see a weapon on her. But there was no weapon. She wasn't actually through the window. There was no warning. None of that. And he took the shot. And we're supposed to accept it, right? But yet, we can watch a video of a cop macing someone, trying to arrest them. The person's fighting back. Person's threatening the cop. It all leads up to the cop shooting them, and they want that cop to prove without a shadow of a doubt that it was a legitimate killing. They want that cop paraded out everywhere. He needs to be accountable to him shooting a person who resisted arrest, probably took off in a car, tried to run him over, all of that stuff. But that still was no legitimate reason why to pull that trigger. But now, no questions for this guy. Let's continue. Bartiromo also praised Babbitt and said her family wanted answers about why this wonderful woman, young woman, who went to peaceful protests was shot. Yeah, I would ask those questions too. She then said, without citing evidence, that the security details of a leading member of Congress may have been involved. That's not a legitimate thought. It didn't look like a police or uniformed police officer took the shot. It looked like somebody who was, in some type of suit or something, but I'm not sure because, see, they won't tell us. Now, I'm thinking in America, if a law enforcement person kills a civilian, we should be able to know the details of that. You shouldn't be able to just brush it off and just say, hey, look, man, it was a legitimate killing. Well, how did you come to that conclusion? Trust us. It was an internal investigation. We concluded, based on the circumstance, that it was a legitimate reason to shoot this woman who showed no weapon, no immediate threat, no danger for the men around her, no warning, nothing. Now, if we accept this, based on the fact that they're pushing this narrative that she was an insurrectionist, she was a white nationalist, she was a white supremacist, and the cherry on top, she supported Trump. So it doesn't matter who killed her, why they killed her. She was a Trump supporter. Therefore, hey, all bets are off. We don't owe you guys an explanation because our whole democracy was at risk. So let's continue. I've also heard that it was the head of security for a certain high official, a Democrat, Trump said. And we'll see because it's going to come out. Now, let's hope, because there's been a lot of things we've been hearing that was going to come out, and we're still waiting. Not to say that it won't eventually come out, but how long? How long will these type of things be swept up under the rug? How long will things occur and appear to where people with rationale and concern view it and say, that looks very suspicious to me, and yet no investigations are done? No intel come out, just speculations and rumors that it's going to come out. I want to see it come out. Babbitt, an Air Force veteran who was 35 when she died, was a staunch Trump supporter, QAnon conspiracy theory, as displayed in social media posts she made leading up to the Capitol attack. Now, you know what that's suggesting, right? She was crazy. She was a part of conspiracy theorists. She was a QAnon follower. So now, as they don't want us to factor in all of these young black positive men that were killed by police officers, we can't factor in their past or their history. We can't tie any of their, former behavior to contributed them being shot by a police officer. None of that matters. None of that matters. We just want to focus on why that white nationalist cop decided in that moment to shoot Jacob Blake after he talked about he had a knife, branded the knife, resisted arrest after being called by his girlfriend because he violated her, broke in, stole her car, took her credit card, all of that stuff. None of that contributed to the sum of what took place and happened to this man. But they just want us to start right at the shooting. But now they're bringing up all kind of stuff. So she was part of QAnon. She followed them. So what? So what does that have to do with the final decision to shoot Ashley Babbitt? Did he know all that when he took the shot? Did someone radio in and say, excuse me, the woman climbing through the window is dangerous because she follows QAnon and she supports Trump, so take the shot? And how does following QAnon make you a threat anyway? A physical threat to any of these people. So this stuff right there is really irrelevant. They're just putting that in so they can calm down all of the folks who, you know, would normally say, yeah, that's a good point. But we just disarmed them when we brought up QAnon and Trump. Now all of a sudden, everything seems like it's legit. Nothing will stop us, she tweeted on January 5th. Was she referring to overthrowing the government? Was she referring to an insurrection? What did she mean when she said nothing will stop us? Because honestly, after the election and all of those suspicious behaviors, I felt that if things were viewed objectively, fairly, and followed properly, there shouldn't have been anything that would have stopped us. However, there were some other things that unfortunately did stop us. So when I was thinking that no, nothing will stop us, I wasn't thinking of overthrowing the government. That's irrational. I wasn't saying let's go up there and use 100 or so folks to bust down the doors of the Capitol and somehow we just now have seized the whole government. I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking of going about the legitimate way and process of proving our case. So maybe she didn't make that clear. So let's continue though. Nothing will stop us, she tweeted on January 5th. They can try and try and try, but the storm is here and it is descending upon DC in less than 24 hours. Dark to light. Okay. I'm viewing that as whatever is done in the dark will come out in the light. I mean, I'm viewing that as, okay, folks been operating in darkness, kind of like how this man's identity has been kept in darkness, kind of like how they have not showed us any of the information about the investigation. All of that has been kept in darkness, and we need a little light to shine on it. They asked for investigations about every person is shot that contributes to their narrative that cops are killing black men for no reason. But now all of a sudden they want to keep this one in the dark. That's kind of strange. Plus, dark to light does not in any way make me think she's, you know, actually referring to trying to overthrow the government or an insurrection. But let's continue. Maybe it's something I'm missing. She also retweeted a post saying Vice President Pence should be charged with treason. Pence was a supposed target on January 6th with some rioters captured on video chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." They're making that statement, that chant, was that the goal and objective? How are they going to accomplish that with no weapons? Did they actually go in and make that charge towards him? Did they know where he was being held? Did they assume that an attack or an effort to try to get him and hang him would result in many, many lives lost? Because I'm pretty certain that even though Trump might have disagreed with Mike Pence's decision, he was not telling folks to go and try to hang him because Trump seems to care about the folks that support him and other Americans, which trying to do that would have resulted in them being slaughtered by Secret Service. But nonetheless, I guess they took what they were saying literally, which they shouldn't have been saying that. I wanted to say that. But the other thing is, okay, so it says she retweeted this stuff that Pence was a traitor. They've been calling Trump a traitor since he got elected. They've been saying he was treasonous since he got elected. They've been saying he was an illegitimate president since he got elected. Now, all of a sudden, they're, I guess, saying that by calling Mike Pence treasonous is somehow negative. They didn't even like Mike Pence. They only like these Republicans when they appear to do things that would stop Trump or that would support their narrative. Most likely, they would have called him treasonous if he would have done what Trump was suggesting that he do. So in the eyes of a lot of Americans who felt like there were discrepancies, they did think that there was a little, suspicion right there, a little suspicion. But let's finish this. It says, Babbitt shared many posts that featured QAnon slogans and theories, including some that said Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts and other high-profile politicians were engaged in pedophilia. Okay. And kill her for that? And she's an immediate threat and danger for that? Where is the justification for what happened to her? I mean, heck, she shared posts dealing with that, but yet they shared posts saying Trump was a Russian agent. They shared his taxes that was acquired illegally. They said that this man was peed on by Russian hookers. They said that he allowed all of these soldiers to be killed by the Russians and didn't do nothing. They said that the man was bad-mouthing World War I soldiers, and that was a lie. He's corrupt. He's making money off of emoluments. All of this, they said. And yet, nothing. Nothing. All of that was proven to be false. But yet she shares these things, and somehow maybe by them adding all of these unnecessary factors into this article means that it was okay to shoot an unarmed woman coming through the window. You see how the news can be altered? You see how they can paint a perception, a negative one, without actually saying they're doing it, by including all of these sidebar details that really has nothing to do with the substance. Really doesn't answer the question, why was she shot? Did any of these details come out prior to the guy pulling the trigger, contributed to his final decision? If not, all this man should be answering is why in that particular moment, knowing nothing about that woman, as you saw her coming through that window, or trying to come through it, surrounded by other police officers with no immediate threat of a weapon, why did you decide, I must take this shot without saying stop or I'll shoot? Nothing. But because the Democrats are in charge right now, and for some reason they're weaponizing this whole occurrence that took place and using that to demonize every single person that was there up in D.C. that supported Trump. It ain't even got to be you was inside the Capitol. If you were up there supporting Trump, now all of a sudden you're a white supremacist, white rage, and potentially it's a domestic terrorist. So no answer. I'm starting to question why there isn't an answer. I'm starting to wonder who did know about this. Who was that guy? Who did he work for? Maybe Trump's onto something. All we can do is wait. However, while we're waiting, based on that video clip we just saw, that was dropping that subliminal message, maybe we have reason to be concerned about our whole perception of what took place there. And I think we need answers, don't you? Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Rumble. Those that donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, I appreciate that. The links are below this video to do that as well. Don't forget, check out Extreme Tees, my sponsor. If you like their products, click on their products. Click on their website and put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. And we'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. God bless.